Namaste, good evening, everyone. Okay, so yesterday we were at a very nice point of how our journeys are actually about understanding coexistence. So I'll just recap what we had read. For instance, the biological order exhibits a multitude of compositions. These compositions, inherent to the entities, naturally exist in their respective forms, uh, participating in coexistence. So, what we were understanding by this is that the plant order will be multiplying through the seed medium. The animal kingdom also will be surviving with their ability of survival of the fittest, like the survival of the fittest animal will keep on going. And everything is in coexistence. All this is also happening in coexistence with the matter, basically. Humans are inseparable from coexistence also. They cannot detach themselves from it. So, again, we are understanding that humans are also part of this coexistence, and indeed coexistence with the three orders, and the human itself is alive or is able to learn through combining itself with the body, and basically the Jeevan and the body are coexisting with each other. uh, does anybody have any sort of query or questions till now?
No, Bhaiya, you can carry on.
Yeah. So the more they try to escape, the by this it means the more we try to escape coexistence, the deeper their turmoil grows. Every individual yearns for resolution, driving them on an endless quest. Each person holds the right to pursue harmony within the framework of existence, as every human being lives by seeking. The meaning of free will comes clear. Life's purpose converges on a singular goal, happiness. But yeah, so we'll take it one sentence at a time. This again is a very profound sort of couple of sentences. The more we try to escape the coexistence, the deeper the turmoil will be. It's like answering some question with without coexistence in mind. So like very maybe the problem of population growth. So you can say that the population growth is because there is uncontrollable consumption after that. So when the population grows also there is uncontrollable consumption. So when we should, if we want to reduce the consumption or if we want to reduce the pollution in the world, we should reduce the population. So that is one way of thinking. And indeed, many people are thinking like this, that if we had less people on the planet, then the planet would actually not get so warm, because every family or every person who is alive, they sooner or later will demand some resources, be it a house or a car or an air conditioner or a fridge, and all these things are actually giving sort of a burden to the resources of the world, right? So, but then if we look at it, the coexistence value, Babaji once has mentioned that this earth can suffice for 10 billion, which means that we have still one third of the earth's population which can it can accommodate. So by that mere thought of coexistence and understanding it and how resources will be realigned with existence, right now what is the catch? The person who has the more money, he will be the one who is deciding the demand and supply of the products, indeed. That multiplies and keeps on going to the level of states, and then that keeps on going to the level of countries. So we can see that a lot of decisions that we are making, which are not in line with coexistence, will only create deeper and deeper turmoil for the humans. Every individual yearns for resolution, driving them on an endless quest. So the endless quest here is being depicted as happiness. So we are inherently sukh which means we are driven by happiness. And that means we will search for happiness. We are in quest of happiness, and this endless quest will lead us inevitably towards the true source of happiness, which is coexistence. While I'm reading this sentence, I am reminded by the fact that how much blessed we are, in the sense that we have found this darshan and it is aligning with so many things in the way that existence is. And every day it is a anubhuti of sukh, or what we can call a sort of a bliss that keeps on coming in our mind. And not to mention, with every paragraph we are reading, we are just getting it more and more resolved. So we are also pertaining to the fact that when we are reading this, we are getting resolved. When we are getting reading this, we are getting more and more resolved. So whereas the other people who are out there, or the other people who are strangling themselves or strangling the resources, they are still not able to get the sort of happiness that we are feeling. So I mean, I think everybody would echo here, who is watching right now or even listening right now, that there is some sort of sukh ka anubhuti to hai. There is a sort of way of looking at it with coexistence. We find that there is a lot of tranquility which is bestowed upon our minds, and we feel that we are in orderliness. We can work with orderliness. Indeed, we can be working with products and things, and we should not call them products, but we will call them vyavastha from now on, and the resources, we will not call them resources, but also vyavastha, which means the orderliness, or the um, can somebody help me out? What do we say as vyavastha in Hindi, just for the sake of understanding? Upyogita or purakta? Everything is in upyogita and purakta, right? I think we got it like that. Upyogita is utilityfulness, and purakta is purposefulness, I think. So basically, everything will be based on utility and its purpose. So we will be even creating those kind of products. We'll be consuming those kind of products which are utilityful and in line in coexistence and purposeful, right? Anybody has any question till this point? Okay.
Bhaiya,
Ah,
namaste.
yes, namaste.
Now, what it also says, there are two, three things. One is the more they try, the more the humans try to escape the concept of coexistence, the deeper their turmoil grows. Basically, it is also said, be it idealism, where it says that you have to detach from this world and go and find happiness. So the turmoil there grows more, since you are living, first of all, you've got birth and you're living in this society. And the thing is, we are not aware of this concept of coexistence. Then that turmoil grows more because we don't know, like, how to live detachedly. uh,
Right,
yes, because we feel that we everything is connected somewhere or the other.
right.
But still, so that turmoil grows. I can say that is my own journey as well in
Ah,
that ways.
mm,
And also, it says second thing is it is individualistic approach which gives more turmoil, and that is why we have seen people are now feeling lonely.
mm,
Normally it went from this saying of कि ये सबका खुद का एक journey है, it's a soul's journey, and it went to being now lonely actually. So there the turmoil has grown because we have escaped from this concept of coexistence. And then second line is, I think it says, you rightly said the endless quest would be the happiness. But I think this sentence also is saying that every individual yearns for resolution.
mm,
Driving them on an endless quest could also be that, see, these two lines are interconnected. Like, if we don't understand this coexistence, then we'll
mm,
be on an drive of an endless quest, we will not be able to find what do you say, a resolution.
Right. And
So
inevitably, it leads to sensual pleasures being the primordial of the human persona. And that way, what happens is we are always focusing on how to increase the sensual levels or how to sustain them. I think that's what we can deduce by this line. Because if we don't know coexistence, then we will only be stuck with best at best sensual pleasures, or even we can go a little step ahead, where we can just be in line with the family or the society. I mean, we will not go beyond completely coexistence with the whole world. That's what my basic understanding is.
mhm.
Uh, So, I mean, there is definitely this clan or the status of a person belonging to some sort of sect. All these things are there, and they are also giving some sort of power or prestige or some sort of honor. So those things are there, but that is the limit that one can reach, you know. And even those things ultimately, but the person who is at a higher place in this kind of positions, they will always realize that there is so much to be done, and their position is just being hampering to the working on the ground or the grassroots level, because everybody at the grassroots level is disconnected, or there are not enough followers for that sect, so that there's something done for that, you know. I'm talking about idealism. So the endless quest, that's what it's saying here, because once we are making sure that we are part of a sect, we have already disconnected the realization of coexistence. So that in itself is a double, how do we say it, a double jeopardy basically, because we know that we are supposed to hold our sect or our caste or our people together. At the same time, existence is coexistence, which means everybody is equal, everybody has equal ability to understand. Yet we are forecasting that they are different of caste, or they are of lower caste, or whatever this is. So then we are again in a turmoil. Okay, now what to do? We have to increase our, you know, our bhaktas or our sect or something like that. So this is so seen in every sort of religion that this is taking place, and even in the scientific community, we are seeing that they are also producing more and more sort of products and services geared towards the pleasures of the senses, and that is also the maximum that they can achieve. You know, and here it's saying, look, the each person holds the right to pursue harmony within the framework of existence. So the framework itself is so vast. I mean, there is so many foods, so many pleasures of sight, sound. I mean, you can go just on a trip and visit the whole world, and one life is not enough, you know. So the framework is so vast that you can get lost in this. I mean, if you are not understanding coexistence, then you can just keep on wandering, keep on going. Interesting music, interesting sights, interesting. Uh, Ways of people, languages, all these things are there, you know. Ways of dances are there, culture is there, so much. One would say not infinity, but there is a lot of it. So the framework itself of existence is such that it is very hard to come to the point unless we are having some guidance, as we are with this book or with this darshan. But once we have that, we will see down how, I mean, we'll just read down and see how it brings the self confidence, repeat, respect for excellence, balance in talent and personality. We will get to that. So, this is the point I was trying to say, that because it is the vastness of this. I mean, the, how do you say it? The Jeevan, if even idealism, I think I would like to say one more point. Idealism has always focused to the Jeevan part. It is saying that you don't connect with the pleasures. In its sense, what it's saying is that you are supposed to know the truth, and the truth is the Jeevan. The body is just something that we take for the journey of the Jeevan. So they are also not wrong in that sense. They were also focusing on the Jivan only, and everything else was Maya or illusion or something that changes. So they are also right. But when we look at this darshan, we are seeing that everything is in coexistence. Knowing this, you can work in the framework also with harmony. That is the difference with this darshan. Because with that thing, the whole framework was rejected. The whole framework was said that it is part of Maya. So we are not supposed to pursue harmony or happiness there. And in a way, it is also right, because the Jivan was the truth. The Jivan was the one you need to align with. And yeah, so I mean, a lot of work had been done there, but then I mean, the person is detached, and it is not multipliable. As we said with science yesterday, a lot of people can communicate today because of the mobile phone. In the past, there must be some people who could just communicate with a few individuals, not just with everyone. But now we can do that with everyone as long as we know their address or numbers and all this. But yeah, so anybody else wants to add? Karan Bhaiya has said something. Vyavastha equals to system, which is mechanism and structure, right? But yeah, so yeah, we could say that it's also a structure, a framework. All these things are there. The same words keep on echoing, and it's about understanding that we are in part of that framework. है ना? As every human being lives by seeking, the meaning of free will becomes clear. Life's purpose converges on a single goal: happiness. So free will is again, I think it's described here that the fact that we are also able to find happiness, which is the goal, through different means in different ways. But this is just one way of showing it to you, and this is one wholesome way. I would say it's not just one way, which is meaning that there are other ways also. This is a wholesome way. This way has all the ways in it, I think, because. Uh, Even if you have different tastes, different you colors that you're interested in, you different food that you're interested in, at this point of understanding, there is coexistence, and that if you understand, then the rest is just a variety basically for you to enjoy, and that too with harmony with nature. And so you can literally grow your type of food, or different types of foods, different type of activities that you can learn, whatever has your imagination going, you can do that kind of work. So this is also a very interesting sentence. Life purpose converges on a singular goal: happiness. And every human being is given free will because they are seeking, and the seeking is of the happiness. Hmm. So I will just read ahead. Anytime if somebody wants clarification, they can speak up directly. है ना? Humans seek to live with happiness. There is only one path to happiness, that is achieving Jeevan's and humans' objective. Jeevan's objective is accomplished with understanding. Jeevan becomes satisfied with understanding, and a satisfied Jeevan alone is capable of sustaining the evidence of the human objectives of resolution, prosperity, fearlessness, and coexistence. Okay. So here we can see again there are two things. Humans seek to live in happiness. Okay, there is only one path to this happiness. As you said, there are varieties of achieving the happiness, but the path is the only one, and that is achieving Jeevan's and humans' objective. Jeevan's objective by Jeevan's and humans' objective is basically the coexistence of Jeevan and the the matter-based human. So the Jeevan objective is accomplished with understanding. Now, of course, the understanding is coexistence here. Jeevan becomes satisfied with understanding. So basically, it is able to feel resolved and continue the tradition, or evidence the tradition, and also evidence the activity with that understanding. Every activity that the Jeevan does after that will be in line with the coexistence. And a satisfied Jeevan alone is capable of sustaining the evidence of the human objectives of resolution, prosperity, fearlessness, and coexistence. So maybe we can just discuss this very quickly. Resolution is basically living in orderliness with nature, and living with justice with humans. So that can be summed up as the resolution. Prosperity is basically identifying your material needs and creating more than you are consuming. So basically, you are a Jeevan, and as such, you will not have an endless desire or want, because you are differentiated yourself from the Jeevan and the body. So what you will feel as prosperity here, what we or person who is resolved will feel for prosperity is, it is a mindset where a person is creating or is making more And by making more, we are talking about products or agriculture products. It can be anything, or even service that you are having, and you're exchanging with some sort of money, and money figures, and you are basically generating more than you are consuming. So by this, it means what you need to sustain the body, you're creating a little bit more than that, and that is the prosperity. I mean, there will be no point of creating more and holding it. Basically, it's like as simple as today, if some we have some sort of extra things, we will hold it in our house. We will keep it safely. We will not give it to anyone. But when you are resolved, you will start seeing that, okay, you have some 10 garments or clothes that are not used. So because you are resolved, you are understanding coexistence, you will then feel to give away those items to the needful, or the person who is a like in the village. Maybe you can have a system where there are things that are kept in extra, because then you are also understanding that for me to live, I just need so and so amount of things. So uh, it's a whole shift of mindset, and comparatively, or in opposite of what we have today of holding the things, also we will slowly feel the burden of holding it, and we will also start to feel empty, in the sense we will not want to hold it, we will not want to carry it on our head, basically. And fearlessness is when basically you are living in a society where there is no competition there, and there is no people who are holding extra things. So there is a fearlessness in that society or in that village system, because right now we are not knowing anybody who is around us, and so we will consider them as disorderly. And it is indeed true, if we don't know the neighbor, we will never know what is in their minds. But a person or a group of people who are resolved, they will definitely be contributing or evidencing that sort of behavior, which is predictable, which is reliable, which is trustworthy. So all these things contribute to fearlessness in that societal structure. And coexistence, obviously, again, it just sums up everything, and we will be the human objective. I mean, the Jeevan's objective being coexistence. So he just wants to uh, experience that and evidence that in its understanding. Any questions so far? Okay, so we'll just move on. This itself is the evidence of living in orderliness. As one lives in orderliness, these four goals, which is resolution, prosperity, fearlessness, and coexistence, are achieved. So these goals are achieved when we are living in orderliness, and this is evidence by coexistence. When we are knowing that, we will act in that accordance, or act in that orderliness fashion. So that is what we will achieve, and then those achieved goals are the resolution, prosperity, fearlessness, and coexistence. Such a human tradition is beneficent for one another. Imparting understanding to another itself is benev- benevolence, whereby the meaning of coexistence gets actualized in the form of tradition. So, imparting this understanding, like for example, it may be a child, or it may be a group of people who have come to visit you. You are resolved. You are able to give ideas or give their guidance. Based on the yogyata and patrata, the ability of the other person to receive the knowledge, and based on that, uh, the tradition gets actualized. you know and benevolence, I think it means that when the
उपकार
person is,
भैया,
ah,
उपकार
right,
उपकार.
right, right, बढ़िया. Okay. Yeah, so it was just in the tip of my head, but I could not. I knew it had to do something with love. एक तरह का प्रेम भाव जो होता है पूरी मानव जात के लिए. So yeah, very good. बढ़िया. So in human tradition, orderliness entails maintaining coexistence in the present. Anything that disrupts coexistence also disturbs orderliness. Okay, so I just highlight this. In human tradition, orderliness entails maintaining coexistence in the present. So it's not about we will do it tomorrow, or we will act in orderliness tomorrow, or we have been acting in orderliness in the past, so now we should be having the world at our feet. So anything like that. We are in the present experiencing orderliness, and we are evidencing it also, right? So that's very important. Anything that disrupts coexistence also disrupts orderliness. So, as I just mentioned, if we think that we have done such and such punyas, or then we are entitled to something, or we keep on sticking to the pad, or we stick on, we keep on sticking to the place of we have a lot of money, resources, and all those things. So this will be the disrupting of coexistence, and that will also disturb orderliness, right? I hope this is very very going through very very easily, because these are the gems that we have to hold on to when it comes to living in orderliness. Because जिसको कहते हैं ना मान, अभिमान है, और all these things, ego and all these things, they get totally destroyed when we are living in the present, when we are in orderliness, we have when we have understood coexistence. So all these things just get destroyed because they are lesser than coexistence. So yeah. Okay, so due to their imaginativeness and free will, deluded humans can cause any kind of disturbance. For instance, significant damage has been inflicted upon the earth. They didn't know what difficulties would arise from this disturbance. And when they came to know, there was no available remedy. So this is almost a sarcastic remark again, that due to their imaginativeness, तो कल्पनाशीलता इतनी भयानक होती है, and we are also looking for the happiness, and we only know some of fractals of happiness, be it in the form of the senses, or we have seen somebody donating, so we are also donating, but we are still not able to get the feeling of continuous happiness, you know. So deluded humans can cause any kind of disturbance. So here it said that once we are not, as long as we are not resolved, as long as we don't have a sort of grounding in resolution and in coexistence, then we will keep on damaging the earth. And indeed, what we have done with the earth, be it global warming, be it exploitation of the resources of the air, water, and earth also, all these things is proof that we have not used our imagination in orderliness, you know. So uh, they didn't know what difficulties could arise from this disturbance, and when they came to know, there was no available remedy. So even now, the remedy of global warming is still not there. We also want to achieve global I mean climate change should stop. That's what we want also, but at the same time we are not able to do it with so many limitations in energy. We also then look at it the point of view that when we look at energy, we are looking at it as a only way of living in the right way is by consuming fossil fuels. Even today, knowing that these fossil fuels take millions and millions of years to form, we are still relying on fossil fuels. We don't have an out basically. So that's what we are also still doing. Um, I would just like to add to this topic, because I was listening to today's Pathakji's lesson, and he said something very interesting. We were talking about how we need to talk about Ayurveda, and how it is imperative for people to, you to know the rutus and all these things. So he mentioned one thing. He said that, look, you do that work, but if it is in align with coexistence, then it is worth talking about. So what he was trying to say is that if we are talking about health, and that is only some people are unhealthy, for example, in the whole group of who will be watching that series, only a few people will be not healthy, or they will be wanting some sort of resolution. So what he said, that if you are talking of the whole of humanity, then that is worth, or that then that is part of darshan. Otherwise, it is just part of sort of chikitsa, or it's just a part of diagnosis, or it is just part of you are doing a sort of a seminar on health. You're not doing something for coexistence. So this is very it got to me also, that we have to be very careful of what the words we are using and how we are using it, even though it affects everybody. I mean, everybody needs health, but at the same time, only the sick people are going to be interested in this kind of talks. And it Babaji also says that every human is born healthy. It's just that we are not in line with orderliness, or we are not aware of these kind of things about the body, how it functions. So then we get sick, or we get to the priya hit labh. What is whatever is priya. For example, gulab jamun is priya to us. So we'll have one, two, three, four, five, whatever it is, and that creates the disorderliness. So again, I was just reminded, because it's saying here, the imaginativeness and free will of deluded humans can cause any kind of disturbance, even to the self. I'm talking about even the health can go haywire, because we are not resolved in our thought process. We are consuming based on priyahit labh, and that again will create the problems. Yeah, so that obviously multiplies at the world level, and what we are seeing as wars and all this kind of thing is just nothing but disorderliness at the individual level. And yeah,
Yes,
so
Vidya.
Bhaiya, it's very
mm,
Sorry.
yes, Neelam Didi. Please, you speak.
No, no, Vidya, we would like to hear you today, right now.
uh,
No, just I wanted to say that you see the difference in idealism and in Madhyas Darshan. In idealism, it is said that everything is being done by the god. है ना? वही दृष्टा करता भोगता है. लेकिन what here it is said is that we have the imaginativeness and the free will, है ना, कल्पनाशीलता और कर्म स्वतंत्रता. And
right,
based on the awakening or the delusion, the humans can do different things. Like if he is awakened, he can do something good for the society. And if he
right,
is deluded, he can do a lot of disturbance to the humanity, which we can see easily.
right,
Now,
right,
these things are not being done by the God. These
mm,
things are being done by the humans. So
right,
that is the a major shift, which I
yeah,
think everyone can see and visualize, and then can have a better vision how things are happening in this whole existence.
right, right. Yeah, I mean, so many small things we even just leave it to the gods. Bhagwan kare or Bhagwan rakhenge humko, and all these things we are saying. But then at the end of the day, we look at it and it's deduced, or even we can equate some activities of human beings, and we can equate it and go back and trace back to what we have done wrong with the nature, and it is just by law of niyati. It is just that we get back what we had sown in essence, and then we are also leaving it to God. That they will he or she will make us live, or we will die. And whatever it is, we will accept. But a true how shall I say it? The true or ordained orderliness person will take the responsibility. That's what I'm trying to say. And as we are here also, I'm sure that wherever we are going, wherever we are talking with certain sort of assertiveness, that look, we know something which is knowing in coexistence, and we know that there is some orderliness, and we know also that we are creating the disorderliness. So these three things are definitely there in us, at least who are here, who are in the darshan, who are in Jeevan Vidya Parivar. There is some sort of profound acceptance of responsibility, if I would say that. And that's a good thing. I mean, if we are responsible, then only we can do something right. I mean, if we say that everything is done by God, then who will take care of the earth?
Hmm.
So that's very important also.
Wonderful. But
So, yeah.
yeah, this is the major shift. I believe
Mm.
even very educated people, if they
Yeah.
don't have the knowledge of the existence or that of the Madhyas Darshan, then they
Right.
are confused. If you ask
Right.
them any of the question, they are confused. They don't have the answers. Again, it goes to the mysticism. ना रहस्यवाद
Right.
में चला जाता है. But here, what the wonderful thing is, you have the answers to almost each and every question, and
Right.
slowly we can definitely are understanding. So that is the
Mm.
wonderful thing, and that is the in Hindi we say chamak चिड़िया दिख गई या चमक चमक गई. So that is
Ah.
the as soon as you
Mm.
start believing that, Yes, then you will feel. And now today I was discussing with my friend that sometimes it becomes difficult to leave the old habits. है ना? We have the, due to tradition, we have the old habits and they don't go easily. But with practice they go. We all know that with practice, with belief, with understanding, they slowly and slowly go. And then you feel so much of peace, happiness, and that bliss, satisfaction, everything. You start believing in yourself, and then you also start to propagate it to your near whosoever come into your contact. Then
Right.
वो जो benevolence की बात की हमने, उपकार की
Right.
बात की, then you
Right.
start doing that, and there are few people they are ready to listen to.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I know for a fact that in my personal livelihood, when I was not knowing darshan, I had this mindset of belief that one of this belief was that women are there to do the household work and the men are there to do the physical work or the outside work, or they will go and work outside and all these kind of things. So once I started to understand Jeevan, once I started to understand the depth of, or rather the similarity of Jeevan, that Jeevan is the same, be it in human, in a woman or a man, then I slowly started to dissolve this biasness basically, and that also takes a lot of effort. I think you said the right way, because we have been used to, and sometimes we are not even skilled. The important thing is that we are not skilled to do the house help, be the house help. We are not skilled to think of right medicine when it comes to some sort of issue. We are blank literally, and the blankness is then again depicted as anger. So this has happened in the personal life, that's why I'm sharing it, and I'm sure that everybody will also echo with this, that it is one simple thing, that we are a man or woman. For that to dissolve also takes a lot of effort, and I mean, with repeated reading and repeated understanding and repeated seeing also. I think a lot of thing has helped me out by seeing others, especially the Prabodhak and all those people who I've seen them act in that way, in this, in orderliness, and that has also helped me understand that I mean, there's no such thing as a man's work or a woman's work. Everybody is equal in that sense, and yeah, so just thought of sharing that. But yeah, so Nilababi, you wanted to say something?
Uh, Hello. Yeah. The thing was imaginativeness and free will. जो उसका है तो free will, people take it as freedom, and freedom meaning is not properly gone in the human tradition. So that is why they have this kind of uh, they can do this disturbance, because हम कर सकते हैं, दूसरे देख लेंगे, इस तरह की बातें होती हैं.
हाँ.
And so I wanted to say that. And there was one आपने जो बात की, पाठक सर ने जो कहा था,
हाँ.
उसको मैं ऐसे देखती हूँ, it is what he meant was probably
Yeah.
that it is because I also a few days back came, just a moment.
हाँ.
A few days back, Mahendra Bhaiya's lecture also I was attending, and in that I have heard that it is imperative that we get into education, that is the health education, because it is very important to know about your, like, till 3 years he was saying, example he was giving, till 3 years the
Right.
child's brain is being developed, and
Hmm.
we tell this child ke ye aap samajh nahi pa rahe ho, this is this, but it is because we are not aware
Right.
of this process ke it takes 3 years for the brain to totally develop, the whole neurons to develop, and everything, that system to develop.
Right.
We are not aware, and we expect that they can analyze and they should understand.
Mm,
So after 3 years, so he was saying it is very important to have health education also. And
mm,
what we are right now reading in Avartanshil Arthashastra in the morning,
mm,
now just few 1 or 2 days are left. In that, just आज और कल यही बात चल रही है.
mm,
So there is a 10 stages of Swaraj Vyavastha. In that, what they mean about, they mean स्वास्थ्य संयम जो कहते हैं,
right.
वो व्यवस्था में किस तरह से, तो उन्होंने उधर लिखा भी है कि द विलेज शुड बी सो मच सशक्त to give that kind of education, and all these kind of chikitsa, that is allopathy, homeopathy, ayurveda, unani, all should be given.
Mm,
So that is written in Avartanshil Arthasastra. But of course, what he is trying to say is, in the connotation or with respect to this whole
right.
uh, coexistence, we have to understand coexistence of human, which is
Right.
it is made up of Jeevan and the body. So
Right.
we have to learn about it is not just the chikitsa part could be for the
Sick person.
treatment part
Right. Right.
could be for the diseased person,
Right.
but health education awareness for
Right.
to know the anatomy physiology of your
Mm,
body, it is
right.
important for us to know.
Right. Right.
We don't understand that, if we don't understand these cycles of nature which can impact on our bodies,
Mm,
so that coexistence of course
yeah.
should be
Imparted.
brought into the education.
Right.
So just of course what is happening today is only we are treating and we take money, so that of course
Right.
is not swasthya sayam.
Right.
But
Yeah.
what is means, people say कि हम तो स्वास्थ्य संयम कर ही रहे हैं, हम
Yeah.
उत्पादन कर ही रहे हैं,
Uh,
but are we living harmoniously, or with that coexistence has to be seen. So he is saying
mm,
that part.
mm,
So that health education should be given.
mm. नहीं नहीं बढ़िया
I
बहुत अच्छे से आपने क्लेरिफाई किया एंड आई एक्सेप्ट दैट बिकॉज अंटिल नाउ आई हैड रिटन द क्वेश्चंस इन दैट वे what is the solution for headache, what is this, why do we get headache and all this kind of thing. So I'm just talking to myself. I think that based on that I will have to rephrase all the things then and talk about coexistence. And what is basically to be talked is that there is a way of living in orderliness with the body and with harmony with the cycles, as you said. And there are body types, so we will be discussing that only, which is pluralistic to the whole of humanity, not just one particular sort of disease or imbalance or whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, I got the clarification for Pathakji that way, and he also has clarified that we do need to um, yeah, so in fact, I am also under the weather, you might have noticed. So one of these things is that the seasons are changing and we keep on still consuming the way we are consuming. The quantity, the portions also keep on being the same. So suddenly what happens is the body cannot handle it, and what the body is getting as food is turned into toxins. And then that ajirna stuff then starts coming out from your nose, or you get a headache and all this kind of thing. So yeah, definitely what is pluralistic to the to the humanity in the sense of health should be talked about, should be discussed, should be taught. And I think that is what I will take from this, what Pathaji has said. But yeah, yeah. So I will just read this. We still have some time. Humans keep searching and exploring owing to their imaginativeness and free will, but this search and exploration is meaningful only when it is for orderliness and for achieving resolution, prosperity, fearlessness, and coexistence. So I think when we were discussing yesterday, if they will, people will just go out and look in the space, look for other worlds, look for all these kind of things outside the planet. Those are all meaningless. Like this line is concluding that, I mean, our free imaginativeness uh, and exploration should be for orderliness and for achieving resolution, prosperity, fearlessness, and coexistence. This understanding leads to humans to achieve self confidence, respect for excellence, personality, sociability in behavior, and self-reliance in occupation. To the question that we were having yesterday, that what if we want to go out and explore, what if there are people who want to go out and explore, develop a, am I audible? uh,
Yeah,
Bhaiya,
actually,
your
we
voice is
missed.
breaking.
Yes.
Yeah, we
I
missed
just got,
some of the
uh,
lines. Yes, you
yeah.
repeat these lines.
Yeah, so I was just saying that we were just talking about going out to get a colony in Mars and all these kind of things that we were thinking. Now we are suddenly clarified with this, that when we are in going to use our imaginativeness in the highest form, it should be in line with orderliness and achieving resolution, prosperity, fearlessness, and coexistence. This will then create the self confidence, respect for excellence, balance in talent and personality, sociability in behavior, and self reliance in occupation. Basically, Trupti Bindu jo hai uska, where we feel tranquil, where we feel, how can we put Trupti Bindu in English? Resolved. I think that's the only way we can do it. When we feel resolved, we will not want to go out and search in the other planets and all those sort of adventures, of trying to look for life, trying to mingle with that life, then trying to identify that language. Maybe we will be more evolved than them, so then again the problem comes of exploitation. Maybe we will be under evolved, so they will exploit us. So all these kind of things will start happening. So we should stay, I think, according to I mean, the merits of the earth, we should stay with the earth, make it heal, and as the song of Michael Jackson that we played on the war, uh, heal the world, make it a better place for you and for the entire human race. So yeah, some people have really put it nicely in the words also, but yes, orderliness was not defined as properly and as cohesively as the darshan is. So we always had this uh, people, artists who are trying to, even today we have artists trying to show the oneness, trying to sing about oneness and all these things, but there is no fundamental framework, that we can get for us to follow. Yeah. So these can be called merits. Human become social with these merits. Evidencing understanding in life, in living itself is learning.
भैया,
So, huh.
दीदी has written what are these merits in Hindi. So मैं बोल देता
Huh.
हूँ, because
Okay.
I also have a Hindi translated book,
Yes,
Hindi
yes.
and English.
Please.
The
Sorry.
first one is स्वयं में विश्वास, self confidence. Second one is respect for excellence, मतलब श्रेष्ठता का सम्मान. थर्ड इज बैलेंस इन टैलेंट एंड पर्सनालिटी, यानी प्रतिभा और व्यक्तित्व में संतुलन. फोर्थ वन इज सोशबिलिटी इन बिहेवियर, यानी कि व्यवहार में सामाजिक. एंड फिफ्थ वन इज सेल्फ रिलायंस इन ऑक्यूपेशन, यानी कि व्यवसाय में स्वावलंबी होना. तो आई थिंक दीदी, आई हैव ट्राइड टू पुट दिस थिंग्स इन
मेरिट्स
हिंदी.
में क्या बोला है वो मुझे जाना, मेरिट्स को.
मेरिट
यही
सद्गुण,
तो है, पांच, ये
अच्छे
सब
गुण,
5 मिनट्स।
सद्गुण. हाँ,
अच्छा।
या सद्गुण. ओके ओके.
हाँ।
सद्गुण.
हाँ,
जी ठीक.
बढ़िया। Okay, so yeah, humans become social with these merits. Evidencing understanding is in living itself is learning. Only humans could become learned among all the existence. So again, combination of Jeevan and the body, and that is the only way it evidences it. It evidences coexistence, and only humans can do this in existence. There is no other combination of Jeevan or any. There is no other animal that can do this. Only human, and hence it is called the highest order or the most viksit, or yeah. So basically, only the humans can evidence this coexistence or this learning. While there is continuous search in every unit of nature, the learning is possible only in humans. Okay. So there is continuous search in every unit of nature. I am trying to understand what this means. where while there is
हर
continuous
हर
search.
हर एक इकाई में अपने में शोध होता रहता है,
हाँ,
लेकिन विद्वत्ता की बात केवल मानव में ही होती है। यानी कि
बढ़िया।
यहाँ पे ये डिस्टिंग्विश किया है कि द ह्यूमंस हैव द कैपेबिलिटी टू अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग, है ना। बाकी जो तीन चीजें हैं उनके पास ये सामर्थ्य नहीं है ना।
राइट,
जड़ के पास नहीं है, पौधों के पास नहीं है, जीवों के पास तो बहुत लिमिटेड चीज है, बहुत ही लिमिटेड है, यानी कि वो पहचानना और निर्वाह करना ही करते हैं। But
राइट।
the human being is the most developed who can understand that
हाँ,
what is how the things are there,
राइट,
atoms कैसे काम कर रहे हैं, how
राइट,
the various अंश they are moving, है ना। वो
राइट।
उस orderliness को human beings can understand,
हम्म,
and then can accordingly they can take a decision. Yes, Neelam Didi.
यस।
तो मतलब एवरी यूनिट ऑफ नेचर, जो हर एक इकाई है, उसमें शोध का होता है क्या? मतलब
शोध,
प्राण और पदार्थ। हाँ।
हाँ, शोध का मतलब यह है कि एक तरह से वो डेवलपमेंट तो चल ही रही है उसके अंदर, है
राइट।
ना। जैसे जीव भी कुछ चीज देख पाते होंगे, लेकिन वो उतना नहीं समझ पाते ना, एक
हाँ,
लिमिटेड ही कर पाते हैं।
द ब्रेन
तो
इज
ये
नॉट
फर्क है।
इवॉल्व्ड।
समझ रही हूँ, बट
हाँ,
यूनिट ऑफ नेचर मतलब
हाँ,
प्राण और पदार्थ का
वो
शोध
भी
में वो
करते
नहीं
हैं।
कर पाई।
They also do it. I'll give you an example.
ओके।
If you look at hydrogen and oxygen,
जी।
they are obviously the shells are empty, right? I mean, not empty, but they are unfulfilled. They are not complete. So it has the ability to combine with other elements. So it is continuously looking for and accepting other elements into itself and combining with it, and based on the environment it will perform its activity that way. So every shell which has the ability to accept an electron and basically combine to form another element, sorry, another compound, those are the proof that this sentence is saying that each and every unit means that each and every atoms in this world also are in search for that higher union or higher existence or vikas, kram vikas. Basically, it doesn't want to just stay what it is simply because it is inadequate itself. So it wants to combine with other things. It will immediately combine with another drop of water and complete that in that way, or it will combine with other elements to form another chemical. So that's what it means, you know.
exactly, exactly. They have their own research, but that is limited, you can say, and very limited. Like Bhaiya is saying that any of the element or any of the atom which is not fulfilled is
Right,
searching for something, and in
right.
that search they are able to create other
Compounds,
molecules,
right, molecules.
other products, other things.
Right,
That is a limited kind of, but human being can do a lot of search and research,
yeah,
and based on that they have understood many things and they have produced new things
right.
ना। जो ये जो फ्री विल और इमेजिनेटिवनेस है,
Uh,
दिस इज द यू कैन से basis of most of the research which we
right.
see in the human kind.
बढ़िया, बढ़िया।
बहुत बढ़िया भैया, आपने ध्यान आकर्षण कराया।
हम्म,
इसमें क्या है कि आइडियलिज्म में कहते हैं, मतलब मैं थोड़ा है ना क्यों इस पे ये हो गई कंफ्यूज, के आइडियलिज्म में कहते हैं कि है ना, जीव जो है मिट्टी में भी है और पौधों में भी है, वनस्पतियों में भी जीवन है। तो मैं जरा उसमें आई वाज लिटिल कंफ्यूज दैट इट सेज कंटिन्यूस सर्च है इन एवरी यूनिट। सो ये क्या कहना चाह रहे थे? तो क्योंकि आइडियलिज्म में दे हैव गॉन टिल दैट के जीव सृष्टि जो पदार्थ अवस्था में भी है, और क्योंकि और उसके वजह से प्राण अवस्था में भी है, तो उसको हानि नहीं पहुंचानी चाहिए। तो ये एक आइडियलिज्म में बात थी, इसलिए मैं थोड़ा उसमें कंफ्यूज हो गई। ये तो अब मैं समझ रही हूँ कि एटॉमिक लेवल पर ये चीजें जो आदान प्रदान होता है ऑफ द द पार्टिकल
हम्म,
एक दूसरे में,
right,
तो वो बात है। इट इज नथिंग टू डू विद जीवन। जीवन सिर्फ दो ही चीजों में होता है, दैट इज जीव अवस्था एंड मनुष्य। नाउ आई गेट इट।
right,
थैंक्स।
right. Yeah, and I just wanted to add one more thing. There was a very good dialogue by Acharya Prashant I was listening to once, and he was saying that some of the things are said by the gurus of that time simply because they had a very big audience. I'll just give you an example that you are not supposed to harm any trees, or you're not supposed to pluck the trees, leaves of the trees, and just let them be, because there is life in that tree also. So imagine you have an audience of maybe 60 to 100 or 200 students, and you cannot explain, even though you know it, but you cannot explain some things the way it is. And so you make a pluralistic this thing that every living thing or everything that grows is alive, it has Jeevan in it. So what happens is suddenly those students or those people will start respecting it, they will feel fearful. The whole of idealism is, I think, based on the fear factor only, and that's how they actually control this masses of audiences who are like students. And those students were actually then controlled that they cannot harm the even the stone for that matter, because we can see today those students or those people who are not understood this point, that everything in existence is coexistence, they are the only ones who are owning the mines, owning the forests, and cutting down the trees, and owning this places of cattle raiding farm and slaughterhouses, because they have understood something, that it is not part of coexistence, and it is just it doesn't have life, or it is the life is lesser, or it's worthless. So this is the kind of things that it is the outcome of. So to control the masses, to control the audiences of the young minds, so that they don't become grow up to become very bad consumers in the future, this, I think, was embedded into them, that everything is in existence is alive. And actually it is alive in the sense that the atomic movement is there, the cells of the orbits of the cells are moving. So there is some sort of movement there, we can say that there is some sort of life force there. But then the Jeevan is not there. So this was clarified just with this darshan. And I think nothing is wrong in that way. I mean, biological entities are alive, they are growing, but they are doing so because they are submerged in the omnipotent. Yes.
Basically, I was listening to
Ah,
you all,
ah.
and I feel that Janak Bhai has put it. Yeah, one point is there
Hmm.
definitely. Just to control the masses was one of the point, but the intention was also that they should not harm the things uh,
Exactly.
with their bhav paksh basically.
Hmm.
You
Right.
can of course you can use everything
Right.
whatever is available in the nature,
Hmm.
but not with the uh, uh,
Exploitation.
uh,
Ah,
intention to destroy or destruct
hmm.
or harm.
Exactly.
Basically, that was the point they want to
Hmm.
explain.
Hmm.
Even in the journey,
Hmm.
uh, it is I mean stone is also a lowest uh, dimension of
Existence.
existence,
Right.
right? So there is a basically they want to create one kind of bhav paksh that we
Hmm.
don't want to harm even the lowest the things in the order.
Right.
So
Right.
we want to preserve everything whatever is there on the earth,
Hmm.
and we want to stay in harmony.
बढ़िया.
They want to tell like that because
Hmm.
yeah. So intent basically the basically to clear the intention of the people,
Right.
why they are living, or
Yeah.
what is the final goal of the life, like that.
Right.
They
Right. Right.
wanted to put like that, but there was no clarity on the
Sense.
coexistence part basically.
Hmm.
So this was missing part,
Hmm. बढ़िया.
which now getting fulfilled.
Hmm. बढ़िया.
Yeah.
बढ़िया.
Very good, very good.
Hmm.
That is that what Babaji has tried to do with the help of Madhyas Darshan is just to fill the gap. There was some gap that some of
Hmm.
the things were not able to get explained, that was put in mystery.
Hmm.
So here, whatever gaps were there, they have not discarded either idealism or the science totally, rather than to understand their limitations, and certain corrections are required. है ना?
Mm.
So based on those, this particular philosophy has been put, and it
Mm.
is able to explain each and everything. That
Mm.
I personally believe. I may be wrong. So those of you who have a better study, they can have your view and can give some direction to us. But I
Yeah.
believe I am able to get answers to most of the questions.
Very,
Yes,
very
you
good.
are absolutely right, Bhaiya. I think darshan is able to give the logical part. It is able to fulfill the what do you say, the tattvic part of it, the bodhic part of the coexistence, existence. It has been able to fulfill all these three parts. It is able to give us the how, why, when, everything,
Mm.
why. So
Mm.
it has been able to give the total thing with logical reasoning to it,
Right.
which a lot of things were missing because of the coexistence part was not
Yes.
uh, explained properly, or yeah.
Yeah, and it's amazing that when you get resolved, when you get into alignment with the existence and the way existence is, you are suddenly feeling the bliss. The point I want to repeat again and again is that this anubhuti is completely phenomenal because it is. I mean, you read and look at something logically, and you start feeling resolved. I mean, how is that possible? Except with this darshan, I don't think any other sort of books or university PhDs or whatever they have achieved, whatever their intention there was, I'm not doubting that. But the point is that you start feeling oneness with this existence. That is the biggest prime sort of achievement of this darshan is, I think, and that's what keeps on us going to this
Mhm.
and getting more and more. You know?
Bhaiya, you have snatched words from my mouth. I was simply about to say that I am 57, and
Mm.
for the 56 years
Ah,
until I have not studied this Madhyas Darshan, I lived in fear. Fear of
right.
many things like loss of money, loss of relation, loss of this and that. And
Ah,
I don't know what has happened to me for
ah,
the last 4 or 5 months that I
ah,
am feeling that blissfulness,
yeah.
that where the fear has gone. I don't know where the fear has gone.
I
And
think
this
suddenly
is
we stop aging also, maybe.
yes, 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 wonderful.
Yes.
And I have not smiled in my life. I'm
Ah,
telling you.
ah,
मेरे को लोग serious बोलते थे. And
ah,
I don't know from where this smile is coming. I'm
ah,
amazed for myself. And when I am amazed, I'm discussing it with my family, my friends, and my relatives. है ना?
mm,
Fortunately, Sudarshan Bhai has joined us, and
ah,
it's wonderful that he is joining on a daily basis. So
very,
this is the thing. I'm giving the belief to him that
mm,
to join for a few days and you see the difference in your life which
yeah,
we are feeling, and
yeah,
this is happening because of the understanding of the existence.
mm,
Thank you very much,
yeah.
everyone.
Yes,
And
thank you.
it's a daily on a daily basis. I
Ah,
definitely enjoy. And
yeah,
today I joined 15 minutes late because of one guest.
ah.
So I'm very sorry for that.
It's okay, it's
But
okay.
now there is a कहते हैं ना वो छटपटाहट है भैया कि नहीं ये
Mm,
मिस नहीं करना. We are talking on a very very
ah,
wonderful topics, and this is
right.
helping us to live a better life.
बढ़िया,
And on this
बढ़िया.
note, I want to actually express my gratitude to all of you
Mm,
present here. And age really doesn't matter. And
हाँ,
everyone is just fulfilling my need of understanding. So thank you so
बहुत
much,
बढ़िया,
every one of you.
बहुत बढ़िया. Think Nilam Babi is the most this thing because I have Shalini on my back, supporting my back, but Nilam Babi has one more, connection that with this the darshan that we have, So, but yeah. So yes, we'll meet tomorrow at the same time. And it's wonderful having us all, and we hope that other users will also join as much as we or three of us are doing. I am requesting next time let's get involved, all of us in the discussion. है ना? Chalo, good night. Thank you.
Good
Good
night, everyone.
night. Good night.